Louise Aston wants to be famous.
Sorry, my therapist is in the front row. That's what we're saying, aren't we? Claim she's my cousin, she's not. Yeah, I'm really nervous, guys. Oh, thank you. That's great advice. I'm going to get that tattooed on my thigh. Don't be nervous. We'll make that a hashtag. Oh, indeed. So I've got my shopping list, right? I'm in the supermarket. I've got my shopping list. It's got the normal stuff, you know, bread, milk, eggs, washing powder, sweets. I love sweets. I love them so much. I love those love hearts. Do you know the love hearts? Yeah. Where they've got a message on all the hearts? Yeah. See, because I'm trying to be famous, I feel like every time I open a packet of love hearts, it uplifts me, it's giving me a message. It's like a TED talk. And so I've got some, and I wondered, can I give one to you, my therapist? If you can open, and Lola, would you mind? Thank you. So you can just read out the first message of the love hearts, and then we'll see what happens.
It says on here, let's go dogging.
See, I prefer cats. What does yours say, Lola?
All yours.
Oh. I'm married. Thank you. That's really kind. So you can eat those. So bet you never thought you were going to get some sweets when you got your tickets, did you? I am the gift that keeps on giving. I know. I'd say unwrap me, but you'd leave. Said the 46-year-old middle-aged woman. Oh, sexy. Yeah, so I know, you should check out my OnlyFans page. So with my shopping list, right, what I've been doing for years now is I've been adding items on it that you wouldn't normally find in the supermarket, just to make it a bit exciting. And years ago, my ex-boyfriend said to me, why don't you try and find a potato that's shaped like a willy? I know, right? And I said to him, why would I want to find a potato that's shaped like a willy when your willy is shaped like a potato? And we laughed. I laughed. But yesterday I was in Aldi, and I had my shopping list, and my item that I had to find that I wouldn't normally find in the supermarket was a carrot that appears to be quite shy. Because you don't normally find carrots that are quite shy, do you? But you don't, because they're normally cocky and arrogant. And they're like, oh, look at me, I'm all orange. Been on the sunbeds. Got my green hair. And you just know they hang out at bars, waiting for the lady carrots to approach them, just for them to say, oh, have you had your roots done? Thanks. Yeah, so I was in Aldi and I was rummaging through the loose carrots, eliminating all the ones that looked really cocky, you know. There was one that looked like he rode a Harley. And there was one that looked like he potentially had tattoos. and there was one that vaped. This is a true story. Anyway, under all these carrots that looked quite cocky, I found a carrot that appeared to be quite shy, and I picked him up. I feel like you can relate. So I picked up this carrot that looked quite shy, and I said, "Don't worry, you're going to come home with me, and I'm going to put you on the mantelpiece next to the pineapple that has PTSD." So, Sheila, who works in Aldi, the cashier, she says, I love it when you come in, Sara. You're like a breath of fresh air. I said, I know. I have to drink regularly. Don't get aroused. Anyway, where was I? Yeah. So Sheila said, I love it when you come in a ray of sunshine. She said, I love the fact that you give vegetables and fruits personalities. You're obviously very creative. I said, I am, Sheila. I'm very creative. Either that, or you need to get out more. And I said, no, I'm very creative, because when you're trying to be an actress, you've got to do lots of things. You've got to have your fingers in many, many pies. And I've done lots of jobs. I've been an extra. But in the industry, they call it a supporting artiste. Sounds really posh, doesn't it? Supporting artiste. And I was in Casualty. Any Casualty fans in the audience? So I was in Casualty. Yay, get me. I played a nurse. Now, I know I don't look like the kind of girl that would, but I love blood, gore and guts, right? And the storylines in Casualty, they're normally quite dramatic, aren't they? So I couldn't wait for them to bring a guy in that had his head chopped off with a helicopter blade. And they didn't. They brought a guy in with the hose of a vacuum cleaner stuck up his backside. And I said to him, suck it and see! We laughed. I laughed. Yeah. My next job as a supporting artiste, though, I was on Poirot. Any Poirot fans in the audience? Oh, thank goodness. Right, so I love David Suchet. He's really fit, isn't he? Yeah. I love his little tash. It just sits under his nose. It's like a little caterpillar, isn't it? Sunbathing in the sun, stoned. But, look at me, sunbathing. Yeah, so I love David Suchet, and I was really excited to be working on Poirot with him, and I was hoping that, I could woo him, because it's period drama stuff, isn't it? And I was hoping they'd put me in like a period outfit so I could really emphasise my curves, show off to David, he'd ask me out, But they didn't. They wanted me on a ward to play a crazy lady. And I said to them, why do you want me to play a crazy lady? And they said, because we saw you singing Happy Birthday to the fruit basket on the tea tray. And I said, yeah, because it was the apple's birthday. And they asked me, well, which one? And I said, all three of them, they were triplets. But they're saying I'm the crazy one. Anyway, I went along with it. But I'm really good at making friends. I made a friend in George on Poirot. He was also a supporting artiste. And we hung out for the whole day. And I introduced him to my fruit basket friends. And we watched all the cast do their thing. It was so exciting. And at the end of the shoot, David came over and said what a lovely day he'd had with me. And I said, likewise, David, likewise. And he said, I hope we get to work together again. I said, me too. And guess what? What? goodness. Guys, don't do crowd work. Well, yeah, I got a date. Right. Yeah. Not with David, with George. But I was thinking if I had got a date with David now, what would it ever look like? Fortunately, I've had some visual aids made up. Bear with me. So, I was thinking, right, David would love a walk. So, this is us. He looks really cute, doesn't he? Oh, look at his little tash, sunbathing. Oh. So obviously I'm playing hard to get. Oh, and I thought I'm assuming David would like to travel, so I thought we could go to Portugal, have a few glasses of wine. And I love the fact that he's got dressed up. The hat, spot on. Love that. Oh, bless him. Oh, and the last one, this is my favourite. Now I can only imagine he would like boats. So here we are. On the way navigation down in Surrey. Look at him playing. He loves that hug, doesn't he? Oh, look at him. And I love the fact he's been working out. Look at the size of his arms. Oh, yeah. There you go, Sara. I can lift 9 stone. So anyway, I'll put those back in his shrine. So like I said, I didn't get a date with David. I got a date with George, and we went to the pub after the shoot, and we just walked into the pub, and George asked me if he could send me something to my phone, and I said yeah, sure. And then he bolted to the toilet, and I'm thinking, oh my god, too early for dick pics. Right? Do you know what I mean? But I sat down at the table in the pub with my phone and my Baileys, and ping, notification from George. He sent me his show reel. Can you imagine that? Me from being, a crazy lady to Steven Spielberg. What are the chances? Well, I watched his show reel and I could see George being very, very busy. Very busy. I saw, and there was his arm in Coronation Street. His thigh in Hollyoaks, and the back of his knee in EastEnders. Dun 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 dun. Anyone can fall in love. That's the theme tune to EastEnders. I'm an actress, not a singer. Yeah, well. Georgie came back from the toilets and he asked me, he said, Sara, did you watch my show reel? I said, I did, George, I did. And I showed him where I'd got to. He said, no, watch to the end. I said, all right, keep your pants on. So I watched it to the end. I said, George, my goodness, is that your shadow in Emmerdale? Oh my God, those sheep have not outshined you at all. Yeah. So we got to the end of the date and we were walking to the tube station and we're just by the entrance and I could tell George wanted to kiss me. Right? He kept doing this. And I kept doing this. And we were doing this and my hat had dropped to the ground and it was full of money because people thought we were doing a busking, we were dancing. Yeah. It paid for my train home though. Onwards and upwards. Yeah. But I kept in touch with George, and you're probably wondering if I saw him again, and I did. I followed his career, and he was so excited. He said, Sara, I've got my dream role. You can see I'm featured. I was like, no way, you're featured. So I sat down, watched him on Midsummer Murders. Oh my God, and he played a cracking corpse. I was expecting more from that. Thank you. Yeah. So I was 9 years old when I told my dad I wanted to be an actress, and at the time we weren't allowed to watch EastEnders because there was swearing on EastEnders. And my dad would say, "You're not watching that fucking EastEnders." I said, "Dad, calm down, put 10p in Fido." Oh. Is anyone allergic to dogs?
Only Casey Price.
Sorry, it's my counsellor needs counselling. Mr. Newland, would you mind holding on to Fido for me? She's a she, because I'm controversial and edgy. I know, not mainstream at all. Yeah, so are you fine with her? I couldn't get a sitter, so thank you. So when I told my dad I wanted to be an actress, he said I was going to be on benefits. And at the time, you've seen it as well. And at the time there were other shows we weren't allowed to watch on the telly because of the fucking swearing. Mr. Newland, can I just put the penny in Fido? Because you've got to practice what you preach.
You've got a lot of money on you.
I know. I'm trying to be an actress, get with it. Follow the show. You know. So yeah, so when I told Dad I wanted to be an actress, he said I was going to be on benefits, and I thought that was the name of one of those shows. Yeah, I did. I thought it was one of those shows. I went to school the next day and I told my friends Emma and Jane how I was going to be an actress, and Jane said she was going to be a supermodel, and Emma said she was going to be a doctor, and I said, yeah, but I'm going to be on benefits! I'm going to be on benefits! I couldn't believe it. Everyone's going to want to be my friend, they're going to take photos. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. And they listened and rolled their eyes and munched on their whatsits. I went over to my teacher and said, Miss, guess what? I'm going to be an actress. She said, I don't doubt it for a second, Sara. Also, right, my dad says I'm going to be on benefits. Well, her face said it all. And as I was about to go munch on my hula hoops, I said, Miss, don't you worry. Don't you worry, I'm not going to swear on the fucking telly. She gave me detention after that, which I found really unfair because I was just quoting my dad. But they say, don't you end up marrying someone like your dad? Don't they? They say that. Yeah. Is that my dad? Yeah. Well, I didn't end up marrying someone like my dad. My husband lets me watch EastEnders. Although I was sitting on the sofa the other day and I was watching Love Island, another documentary, and the husband was looking at me really oddly, more so than normal. He's a anyway, yeah, I said, husband, that's his name. I said, husband, I said, why are you looking at me oddly? And he went, oh my God, babe, you ain't half looking like your dad. I said, am I? Oh my God, I'm so sorry, does that give you the ick? And he said, no, because I fancy your dad. Oh, I need to get Fido back. I can see she wants a pee. What's that? A 10p. I know, he's a drummer. Thanks. It's not even that's true. So, I grew up in a tiny little village in Buckinghamshire in the 1990s, and it was so small you could walk from one end to the other in 2 minutes, even quicker if you're not drinking Bacardi breezes and wearing stilettos. I did warn you, Dad. But there was a party happening across the road from our house. I went to the party and this boy was there. Oh my God, he was adorable. He took a liking to me and he dressed really well. His name was Rupert and he wore this lovely red jumper yellow trousers, yellow scarf, white fluffy ears. It was so cute. And Rupert asked me if I like to go for a walk, and I said, yeah, why not? So we went for this walk. Now, if I'm honest, guys, I felt a little bit misled. It wasn't really a walk, it was more like a giant step. Tragedy! For all you step fans out there. And we ended up by this barn, ducks over there, sheep knitting jumpers over there. Romantic setting, it's lovely. And because I watch all the television dating shows, do you know Dinner Date? I loved it, it's my favourite. So for those of you that don't know Dinner Date, so just say you've got a guy and he's got to pick 3 menus out of 5 menus that have been put together by 5 and 3 single girls. And those 3 girls have got to cook these meals, and the guy goes to their houses and he chooses his favourite girl/meal, and they go out for a meal that neither of them have had to cook. And I find that so ironic, because they always just end up in the Wetherspoons. Who cooks in the Wetherspoons? Ping! Yeah. Anyway, I was thinking, I am aware my brain is a little bit abstract, and sometimes it's like going the other way, so I do apologise. So I was thinking I should perhaps go on a dating show to try and get noticed, and maybe I'll get a man at the same time. And I was on a dating show a few years ago. Do you know Blind Date? Do you know Blind Date? It wasn't that one. But it replaced Blind Date. It was called Love on a Saturday Night. It was hosted by Davina McCall, who was lovely. Oh, she's so lovely. Such a bitch. She's not really a bitch. She really is lovely, annoyingly. But the show I was on, Love on a Saturday Night, is completely different to Blind Date, so get that idea out of your head. Because with Blind Date, the format, you've got the guy behind the screen, 3 girls on the other side, and the guy just has to ask the girls questions before deciding which girl he's going to take on a date. You see, back then, things were so much more innocent, weren't they?
Yeah.
None of this being naked malarkey. I know. Although I was naked when I watched Blind Date. It was my birthday. I had cake and everything. Cards. I'd written. I love a party for one. Yeah, I know, never mind. But yeah, so the show I was on, Love on a Saturday Night, we're already on the date. Regent's Park is the location. And the guy they've chosen for us out of hundreds, maybe thousands of candidates, he's handsome, good looking. He's got the Prince Charming vibe going on. Bullshitter. And for the purpose of this story, which is a true story, I'm going to call him Brad. Because that's his name. How are you, Brad? You all right? So us 3 girls, we've got to wear masks, and I'm thinking Brad's got a fetish. Turned out that was the format of the show, a bit embarrassing. So I was wearing my John Major mask. We used to do children's parties, yeah. Children's political parties. Good times, Brad, eh? But these masks, they're red, green and blue, so we look like escape traffic lights, and depending which colour we are wearing, we've got a nickname to match. Miss Emerald, green mask, Miss Sapphire, blue mask, and I'm wearing the red mask, so I'm Miss Tomato. And Brad and I, we have to feed the ducks. Obviously there's no budget, but at least the ducks got fed. What do you think if they bothered to turn up? I think they were thinking, oh, I don't want to be on this shit show. Let's bugger off to Starbucks, Duffy. Or as I like to call it, star ducks. See, I think that's funny. And then Brad and I, we played frisbee. Brad and I were playing frisbee the next part of our date, and we have to ask each other questions. And Brad asks me, what, Miss Tomato, what terrifies you? I said, oh Brad, that's such a good question. What terrifies me? What terrifies me is the fact that right now I'm aware I'm quite slim and I've got a red mask on and I look like a life-size lollipop. And I'm a bit nervous that the big friendly giant's going to swipe me and shove me in his picking mates, because that really terrifies me, Brad. Remember, this is a true story. Yeah, anyway. Then I have to ask Brad a question. I say, Brad, will you marry me? I didn't ask him that. The second date, Nora. Second date. Yeah, no, I asked Brad, I said, Brad, if you were a flower, what type of flower do you think you'd be? And he said self-raising. And I said, Brad, that's not a flower, that's an ingredient. He's just silly, isn't he? But then he goes on to say, that's a bloody stupid question. What type of flower do you think I'd be? That's not Brad's voice. That's the voice I use when I'm trying to sell credit cards over the phone. I do well. I do really well. Deep and sexy. So I think about this, so he wants to know what type of flower I think he'd be. And I tell him, I think, well, Brad, I think he'd be a pansy. I don't see him again until the next day. We're in the studio. And in the end, Brad chose Miss Emerald, and they got to go to Mauritius. Yeah, I was green with envy. But they lived happily ever after, separately. But I wish Brad well. I hope he does find love when he comes out of prison. I visit him in prison. He was so shocked the first time he saw me. I was wearing my John Major mask. And when I saw him last Wednesday, I took a bouquet of pansies. But he can't buy me presents because obviously he's behind bars. But he always gives me lovely gestures. Yeah, peace. Yeah, peace, Brad. I know, it's so sweet. But I'm digressing. So going back to me being with Rupert by this barn, you know, remember Rupert, the white fluffy ears? By now they've grown quite a lot. And Rupert, right, he kisses me. I'm 16 at the time, this is my first kiss, so I'm thinking, what do I do back? I kissed him back. Support local. And we're kissing, and there's frog, there's saliva, there's foam, there's bubbles, there's all sorts going on. I feel like I'm experiencing some washing machine spin. Except there's no comfort. And I'm praying for David Hasselhoff to glide by with his lifeguarding equipment because I feel like I'm drowning. And in between strokes and splashes, I say to Rupert, Rupert, do you mind if we go back to the party? He said, I don't mind, okay. So we start to walk back to where the guests are. I say guests, there were 9. And 2 of them were sheep. Knitting, yeah. And they're all clapping and cheering for me. I'm thinking, this is nice. And the performer in me, my default is to either bow or curtsy. And I do both because I'm so overwhelmed. The next day, I found out the reason they were all clapping and cheering is because Rupert had made a bet with his friends that he could get me into bed. And I said, Rupert, why did you not tell me? I love bed. You can just lie on it and you can dream and you can sleep. I would have loved a day trip to Dreams the Bed Shop. And Rupert said to me, oh my God, you're so naive. And I said, well, let's do DFS. They do so repetitive. Well, I went to Dreams, the bed shop by myself, and I met Ian, the sales assistant, and I shagged him. We've all been there. I am married now, and I've been with husband. We've been together 16 years, but we've been married for 8 years. And for the first 8 years of our relationship, I thought he was never going to propose. I thought he was never going to marry me. And one day, I was lying on my bed from dreams, and I was just thinking, why don't I marry him in his sleep? Now the plan would be I'd wait for him to be in this really deep sleep. He claims he's not a deep sleeper, but you men, you don't half lie. Oh no, darling, date night. The thought of dogging never entered my head. So he knows I like cats. Anyway, I'd wait for him to be in this really deep sleep. I'd sneak all the wedding guests into the bedroom. I'd get them to be really quiet. I'd say, shh, remember Bjork? Oh, so quiet. Oh, so quiet. Grew up in the 90s. Oh, so quiet. I'd hire a ventriloquist to say those words, I do. Bribe the vicar, or get him drunk. Tomato, tomato. And then when the ceremony is done, I'd wake up husband, let him process it all, explain to him how I was feeling. Romantic, spontaneous, I didn't want to wake him, because that's rude. And he'd say, baby, spontaneous, there's 50 wedding guests in the bedroom, and I'm bridesmaids. And I'd say, yeah. Did you want more? Happy wedding day. Orgy. Obviously, he did end up marrying me, which makes him as crazy as me. And I said to him, confidentiality therapist. Yeah. I said to husband, what would you have done if I had married you in your sleep? And he said, over my dead body. And I said, no, in your sleep. Men, you don't listen, do you? Yeah, but I said to him, I said, husband, I love us being married. I love it because I feel like we're a team, a unit. Yeah, a unit. And ever since then, he keeps calling me wardrobe. I'm so confused. He'll say, wardrobe, wardrobe. Apparently it's opened many doors. See, I thought that was quite good. Yeah. I'm just seeing where I've got to. Okay. When I tell people I'm an actress, they often ask me what they would have seen me in. But they do this. What would I have seen you in, Sara? What would I have seen you in? I feel like saying, maybe you've seen me through the window, you're trying to clean. It's like a window cleaning gesture, isn't it? And then I actually say, well, actually, maybe you saw me in your bath. That time you went to Tenerife and I waved at you in the camera. You don't have a bath. So whenever the neighbours go out, I seize the opportunity. Use their baths. I call it bath time neighbourhood watch. I'm a scrubber. Really? Yeah. But yeah, I was on Birds of a Feather a while back. Thank you. Oh, so we know Birds of a Feather. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, so it's a sitcom about two sisters living in Essex, and their husbands are away in prison. So it's a love story, and yeah, and they've got Dorian, who's a next door neighbour, and I was in an episode of Birds of a Feather. In a scene of Birds of a Feather. I had one line in Birds of a Feather. I said 2 words in Birds of a Feather. It's like charades, this, isn't it? Yeah, so 2 words. And I had to tell Dorian, the neighbour next door, I had to tell her to piss off. That's what I did, I spider. I had to tell Dorian to piss off. And my neighbours found this hilarious, like, oh my God, you've got to tell Dorian to piss off. I said, I know, I've got the script. So then I'm thinking I've got to practice different ways of telling Dorian to piss off. So I'm thinking I could try be really angry. Piss off! Are you scared? I'm trying to show my versatility as an actress. You're not scared? No. Thank you for the feedback. And then I'm thinking maybe I should say it quite flirtatiously. Piss off. Are you aroused? Brad? And then I thought maybe I'll just play it neutrally, you know, just be normal. Piss off. Are you bored? Yeah. The night before the shoot, the director rings me, tells me he's going to change my line. Oh my God, guys, I went into panic mode. I spent all night learning that line, and now he's going to change it. I know, right? But then I think this could be an advantage. It could be a real, you know, maybe it's an upgrade. Maybe I'll have to tell Dorian to fuck off. Can you imagine? But I'm rubbing Fido, just for those of you who can't see. But but in the end I had to tell Dorian to bog off. Rubbish, right? Bog off, I know. And when you watch the episode back on YouTube, you can see that my heart's not in it. No soul at all. And I said to the director, can we redo it? Can we do another take? Do you have to drive off? I like the limo. I love it. I'll get the bus. So obviously I've met, you know, quite a few celebrities, but I met them, you know, sort of after I was married and whatever, and I thought that's really sad. And I thought, what would it be like if they were at my wedding? I've got some visual aids. Do you want to see them?
Yes!
Can you imagine if you said no? So this is a very, oh look at that. Davina, David Suchet, isn't that gorgeous? You jealous, Brad? Could have been you. Dorian, I'm glad she made the day. She could be Miss Tomato, couldn't she? And then the last one. Here we are, all of them together. And that's my father-in-law. He never comes to my gigs. So yeah, look at us. Honest husband. Oh, he never comes to my gigs either. Yeah. He's probably writing out divorce papers. But anyway. So I'm glad I was able to share that with you. But I was thinking perhaps, okay, so at this point I'm about 25, 26, and I'm thinking, do you know what? Maybe I should move to London to be an actress. That's what you do, isn't it? You move to London to be an actress. So the day before I was moving to London to be a famous actress, I was in the little village shop getting some bits for my big Ben Vogel adventure. When all of a sudden I see Rupert. Do you remember Rupert?
Yeah.
The white fluffy ears, now pierced. So yeah, anyway, I see him. Oh my God, so I just put cans of baked beans, cans of tomato soup, cans of dog food in my basket, and all of a sudden I hear, Sara, is that you? Oh, hi Rupert. Hello, yeah, it's me. And he looks in my basket. You got a dog? I said, no, it's a new recipe. Jamie Oliver. Always one step ahead, isn't he? Barking. But, yeah, and I said, yeah, new recipe, because I'm moving to London tomorrow, Rupert. Moving to London because I'm an actress now. You're moving? Yeah, I'm moving. Gosh, I didn't realise you were still in the village. I've been here 20 years. There's only 300 people in the village. Yeah. And then it really annoyed me because I remember I'd written on the roundabout, the swings and the seesaw in the local park, Sara was here. And now I'm thinking to go back and change it to Sara is here, still. So rude. So yeah, Rupert's still here, but you know, I've got to get going now because you know, I'm moving to London tomorrow. Things to do, recipes to cook. He said, alright, well have a good one. I said, I will, thanks. Pay for my goods, leave the shop, bump into Josie. Josie's my neighbour next door but one. She's got Coco the cockapoo. So hello Josie. Coco. Well, I leave, discriminate. I said, Sara, is that you? Yeah, it's me, Josie. Oh, yeah, it's me. I've just been to the shop, moved to London. So you're moving? Yeah, I'm moving to London tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I didn't realise you were still in the village. But I waved at you yesterday, Josie, and you waved back. Oh, was that you? Yeah, that was me. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, dear. I thought that was Mavis, the pub cleaner. And I said, Mavis, the pub cleaner. She's got pink hair. Yes. She's 87. And she's got one leg. Yes. Anyway, I leave Josie to book her appointment at Specsavers and I start to go home again. Almost at my front door, see two old boys, Will and Horace, they're brothers in their 70s. They are so lovely. Hi Will, hi Horace. Sara, like, hello, yeah, hi. Is that really you, dear? Yeah, it's me, what? Here we go again. I said, yeah, it's me, but I'm moving to London, just bought some bits, gonna be, you know, I'm an actress. You're moving? Yeah, did you think I'd already left the village? Oh no, we thought you were dead. Oh, okay, so I left them to mourn over me. And then I go into the house and I'm thinking, gosh, I need to sit down for this. I'm thinking, I need the village to miss me. So I think about planning an event, right? So they can all come to this event and realise how much they're going to miss me and how much fun I am. And at first I think maybe a wake for my funeral. But I want to see what happens next. And then I think maybe a baby shower. But no, you've got to be pregnant for that and have sex. And then I think, I know, I will have a wedding reception. I'll pretend I've been jilted at the altar, but I'm still going to have my wedding reception, and the whole village can come, and they'll see how much fun and how beautiful I look in my dress. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. So I booked the function room at the local public house. It just happens to be available, result, that afternoon. 300 people are going to be there. I go upstairs to my bedroom and I pick out my favourite wedding dress. I've got 12. One for each month of the year. Yeah, but I love a sale. And you never know. Put on my wedding dress and I bolt down to the 7 Stars, the public house, and I cover the whole car park in confetti. Oh my god, it looks amazing, guys. It's like a massive game of dot to dot. And yet I am the pencil. In a veil. Yeah. But all of a sudden, oh my gosh, dramatic change. There's a bit of a wind. And it blows the confetti. Like, oh my god, it's blowing it. Oh my god. And then all of a sudden I feel like I'm in my own snow globe. Oh, yeah, I'm a princess and I'm waiting for Prince Charming. That's what she has said. I need to get out more. Anyway, back to reality, Sara. So I go down and stick all the confetti down back on the ground. And then I'm aware Rupert has his lunchtime drink any moment. I've got to put on the tears. Oh my god, I've been jilted. Oh, have you got any tissue? Oh, I have. I've got to milk this. Can you open this? Oh. Is it Kleenex? Means it doesn't go on and on. So I've got to milk this. Yeah, I'm crying, and then it's rubbish bin day. Oh, thank God for that, right? So sweet, this guy steps out of the rubbish truck and he sees me crying. He says, "Hey, pretty lady, why are you crying?" And I said, "Oh my God, how did you know my name?" And I said, "I'm crying because I've been jilted at the altar and now I've got a wedding reception and all my guests were all going to come and I'm going to be single." They said, "No," he says, "no way. God, I would never jilt you. Would you not? Oh my gosh, that's so lovely and you're so sparkly." He's got bits of tinfoil stuck on his legs. Panty liner stuck in his hair. Some sort of liquid pouring down his chin. I know, I want to lick it as well. Yeah. And I said to him, "Well, would you like to be my +1 to my wedding reception?" He said, "Well, dressed like this?" I said, "I love a man in a uniform." And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I've got to do 2 more villages. I'll be back in 20 minutes. I said, "All right, 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder." So bin man goes off and I go into the public house, the function room. It looks amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. Balloons, bunting. Greg's put on a cracking spread. Honestly, absolutely fantastic. And there's Mavis, the pub cleaner. She comes in with a bouquet of flowers. She says, "Oh, Sara, these flowers, they've lasted longer than your marriage." I said, "I know, Mavis, because they're plastic." And she said she's going to swipe the vase later on the ladies' toilets. It's nice. I said, "Mavis, go and grab a steak bake. We'll get legless, whatever you fancy." And then there's Josie, my neighbour next door but one. Oh my God, she's with Coco. "Come in, Josie, come into the pub." "Oh, you're being barred? Okay, I'll bring out a sausage roll, but Coco can come in. Come in, Coco." It's a dog-friendly pub. Yeah. And then you've got Will and Horace, do you remember them? Yeah, they sat behind me, in black. And then Big Man comes in. Oh my gosh, even more grubbier than before. My mouth is watering. Honestly, he looks so tantalising. Seriously, really, really sexy. And he comes in and he takes my hand. Oh, he's really going for this. Takes my hand and he kisses me. He supports local as well. And I kiss him back. Because I support local too. And then we're kissing and all of a sudden, "Sara! Is that you?" Rupert's on the other side of the bar. "Hi, Rupert! Are you wearing a veil?" "Yeah. I'm moving to London, it's what they wear." It's what they wear. Fashionable, aren't they? "Yeah, this is my man. Better kisser than you. This is my man, yeah." "Oh, okay, well, nice to meet you. What's his name?" His name, it's, is this a quiz? His name's Bin Man. He's been amazing. You see what I did there? Yeah. Some people call that a pun. I know. You like that? But yeah, so this is Bin Man anyway. And Rupert says, "Oh, we'll have a good one." Like, yeah. Said that already. So I'm with Bin Man. We've got the rubbish truck outside. I'm taken outside. And Bin Man's colleagues, right, what they've done, they've covered the bin truck so it looks like a wedding vehicle. Empty cans of baked beans, empty cans of tomato soup, empty cans of dog food hanging off string at the back. It looks so good, guys. And on the window screen where it would say "just married," it says "just binned." Yeah. And we step onto the truck and everyone's taking photos and I catch the eye. Oh my God, there's a local TV company.